Welcome to the 38th DOK.fest Munich. My name is Elena Alvarez, I'm a filmmaker, and wherever you're watching or listening, you find us here in the Silbersaal in the Deutsches Theater in the heart of Munich. I'm very happy to say hello to Sergio Guataquira Sarmiento,
hello.
Whose film ADIEU SAUVAGE we are screening in the international competition. So, Sergio, qué bien que estás aquí, que has venido desde Bélgica. You are a Colombian filmmaker based in Belgium.
Exactly.
Going back to your roots, more or less. How did that come?
Well, it was kind of a long process because at the beginning was my graduate project for my cinema school, and I start with the suicides, with the topic of suicides in the jungle. I learned about the situation in the press, in the Colombian press newspaper, and when I come from in Colombia to learn more than this subject,
Did you believe it from the first moment, or what did you think? Why were there so many suicides?
There is so many reasons for the suicides. The westernization of the region is the main reason, but we can try to understand why there is so many reasons, and one of the reasons is love, romantic love, and the romantic love is because love is the great exposures of the Western culture, and when the First Nations learn about this way to love, they decide to abandon the old way to love for them.
So it's a kind of culture clash.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a culture clash between one system and another system, and the First Nation system is like inferior to the other.
And through the romantic love. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So I tried to learn about this subject, and when I met Laureano, the main character, I understood that film will be move, and I accept this wave. But at the beginning was this strong feeling about the suicides in the jungle.
And then your concept shifted.
Exactly.
In a way, you went away, and you at the end. I mean, at the end, what we see in your film is that you're with Laureano. You're a main protagonist. The film is very much about you and your encounter with those people living there and their way to live. And how was that for your production status, or for your production? I mean, you had a project and you had it financed, and then you suddenly said, well, I'm going to make it different. How was that?
I mean, we are very lucky in Belgium because we have the finances to make the film, and there is a project at the beginning, and I think maybe if the project was completely different, we can have maybe a problem, but still we have a freedom to do it.
Okay.
So they understand that as a documentary that will move constantly, and when they say that the film works in this way differently than the project, they are okay, and there is still a huge part of the principal project. It's just shift a little bit, but not too much.
Well, I think it's I mean, it found like its root and its heart, and it's and what was it for you to be in this situation, to get involved personally as a character? How was that?
Well, I was with my DOP and friend David Garcia, and we talk about it a lot because it was like an idea when I was writing. I just imagined this possibility to be part of the film. And when I talked with David, he told me like, I don't know if it's a good idea. We can try it. He was scary a little bit because it's complicated, and it's complicated to find my own place in the film as a director. It's complicated because it's not about me, and I thought maybe my character can just allow to the narrative of the film keep going. So if I'm just an element who allows the narrative keep going, so why not? And David understood completely this idea, and he starts to involve me every time we are trying to shoot some scenes, because Laureano was constantly talk to me, get an interaction with me, and learn me a lot of things. So step by step, David was trying to open
and to
a
follow
wide
you.
angle, and
Yeah.
and include me in the film. And sometimes, a lot of times, we shoot the scene, and David was thinking in editing, and he includes me sometimes, and then sometimes not. And then at the future, I will have the possibility to include me or not in the film. And that was a really ways.
Well, it's a great collaboration if you find a DOP who is like David Garcia, who is so engaged and who kind of starts seeing the film because he's outside and he's the eye, and you're inside because you're also a protagonist. You're outside and inside, so you're like shifting.
And it's complicated to have the whole picture.
Yeah.
And David understood directly that. So sometimes he says like, I think it's a good idea to put you in, and sometimes he shifts. And when I was in the editing processes, I was really thankful because he planned everything before.
And could you forget him being there? Like forget that you were being filmed? Or were you like cohabited?
Well, it's complicated because I had a great collaboration with my editor too. And I completely trust him. If they say it's a good idea to put me in, it's a good idea, because to be, when you saw in the screen, it's not easy. When you hear you, it's complicated to hear you. It's kind of a, and I kind of a fan of myself in the film, kind of a clown. And I need to accept that I make love people because of my pathetic situation in the jungle. And it's a process to accept that people will love of you. And my friend and editor told me it's a good idea, and I decided to trust them.
Yeah, I mean that's like the figure of the fool, no? I mean, in the narrative and the dramaturgy, you have these the gate holder, like the taxi driver, with where your film starts with the one who drives you from the airport to the place where you're going to be picked up, and then you have the fool. You have the wise man, you have the women, the unknown creatures, and you have the jungle. How was it for you to be in the jungle for such a long time? You were several months, weren't you?
Yeah, we stayed 3 months in the second trip. In the first one, we stayed like 1 month, but it was complicated for us because it was completely cut of this civilization, and the jungle is it's a dangerous place if you don't know it, and if you don't respect it, it's complicated. But if you learn and listen people and do what they say, that can be more easy. But yeah, it's it was a really hard shooting. I mean, I thought
why isn't there a bigger animal? I mean, there are only the small animals, the insects, then a little monkey, a little dog. And I thought, maybe in these 3 months you once saw a snake or something like something big.
Yeah, well, we saw some snakes, and we saw one of the situation, but we didn't have the camera at the moment, but we saw a little snake, and we thought that was a cute thing to shoot. And David take his phone and tried to take some pictures, but we was alone at this moment. And Laureano came to us 3 hours later, and we talked about this situation, and he was really scared because he explains to us that a little snake is more dangerous than a big one, because all the venom is...
it's like a black mamba or something, and it's very, like very... I mean, they bite you and you're dead.
And when exactly. When we told about that, he was like scared, and he says like, oh, I think it's not a good idea to let them alone. But we didn't watch a huge animal, because we tried to don't make find some problems. It was enough like that. So
and in the film you have I mean, you are from Colombia, so your first language is Spanish. And but the film has a French voiceover. So how come that you chose French as a language for your voiceover, being somebody from a Spanish-speaking country?
Well, French, there is a lot of reasons why I choose French, but at the beginning, when I was writing the project, it was in French to present to the commission in Belgium. And then we start to travel in French, and in my head was really necessary to put the film in Spanish. For me, at the beginning, was clearly in Spanish. And in the when I was editing the film, we need to put some voice to try to understand if the voice is working or no. And I couldn't put it in Spanish because the producers don't speak Spanish, and we need to know if the editing is well. So we put it in French, just trying to. And the producer says, we understand that you want to put Spanish in the film, but maybe it's a good idea for you if you try to imagine the film in French. And the film is about roots. It's about myself. It's about what I am. And it's clear that French, it's in me. It's part of me. And I can't deny it. And I'm trying to find my place in the movie and in the world. And this language that I speak with an accent is part of me. So I think it's that can makes my character more not complex but more rich.
No, it's a very interesting level of alienation. So you have a kind of distance, and you have somebody speaking another language very well, but you hear it's not his native language, and you see the same character speaking in his native language with somebody whose Spanish is not the native language. So that's very interesting. And it gives a layer. It's so multi-layered and has so different levels of distance and of closeness as well.
Yeah, that's. I try to show, but this choice of the language, as you say, the different layers that we can have as a person. And there is a Spanish version, and we use to the public in Colombia and other countries. But I think there is something that we can lose. And at the end, it was a really hard decision to make, but I think I prefer to put it in French. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that very well. And at the end of the film, you say nobody ever comes back. So did you come back? Did they see the film?
Well, we want to go back. At the last year, I had a problem with my visa, and I couldn't come back to them and show the film. And now that I have my visa like few weeks ago, so now we can go and show the film. But especially I remember a precise moment, because Laureano is a First Nation person and he knows a little bit the Western culture, and he knows, this legal document when you engage to do something, and he wants to keep our friendship alive. So he made a kind of a document, and he said to me, "Can you sign this document for you come back? Can you sign this document and then promise me that you will be my friend forever?" Something like that.
So it's an agreement, a written agreement about friendship?
Yeah, and he says like, as Sergio is a Western guy, if I make this document, he will take it seriously. Yeah, he will be bound to do it. And I think that was kind of a very tender way, and a kind of a, I don't know, it's
very sweet.
Kind of, in Spanish it's como torpe.
Torpe, clumsy.
Yeah,
a little clumsy and very sweet at the same time. Yeah.
And I understood directly what he tried to do, and I signed the document, and I was trying to understand why he did that, and he made a lot of friends, and friends that never come back. And even if they came back once or twice, finally the friendship will disappear. And I think we live that everybody all the time. If we move in another city, or they are friendship that will disappear, and we understand these movements of life. But for them, it's really complicated to understand and to accept that. So I think, sadly, I know this friendship will disappear in a certain way. I will try to make my best for keep alive this friendship, and I really want to see him getting old, and me too. And I really hope to share some moments, even if they pass 5 or 10 years and then came back to say hello. I really hope that it will be possible.
You mentioned that you will show the film there. Will you show it in Mitu, or they're directly there where they live? Where they live.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
And that you will bring a boat.
Yeah, that's the idea.
What kind of boat? A traditional one from a log, or a modern one?
No, I mean, it took 3 hours to go to the Mitu and the river, to cross the river, and then 10 kilometers to walk through the jungle. So it's kind of a journey, a day, completely day for a journey. And a lot of people die when they are sick. To go to the hospital is too long. So I asked them, because you allows me to make a film. It was my greatest dream to make my first feature film. How can I just make you a favor? And they say, well, I think it's a good idea for the whole community if we can have a boat faster than we had. And we want to buy a motor, a powerful motor. It's not too expensive, but it's really expensive for them. And the time will be 3 hours, but 30 minutes, and that's changed everything.
So it's an outboard motor, so they can put it on their boats, but it's not a boat. It's a
motor
it's a
with
motor
with a
fuera borda.
Exacto. Y con una embarcación, I don't know what's the name of the...
with a boat.
Yeah, the boat like 12 meters to put a lot of people.
Yeah,
so that's the idea.
Yeah.
And we try to find financement. So we are create a crowdfunding to do that, because it's kind of a lot of money, and documentary that we don't have.
I mean, you're talking about a very important issue for a documentary filmmaker, or for any kind of filmmaker, is the relationship to your protagonists.
Yeah.
And if they're your protagonists, or if they're collaborators and you're collaborating on one project, and so there's a different way of dealing with things, no? And not kind of being somewhere, taking something, being very nice while you take, and then you're off. And in German you say aus den Augen, aus dem Sinn. Is if I don't see you, I don't remember you. Yeah. It's ojos que no ven, corazón que no siente, something like that. I don't know how you say it in English, but it's what you say. If you're gone, then suddenly you're gone. And it's a very important issue. And I really, talking about with other documentary filmmakers, I see there's something changing in this attitude about my protagonist, or no, we're sharing something and we're collaborating something.
Laureano is a director too for the film.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. I mean, I put my name because, but I'm not the only one. So it's important to understand that we are a team, and we made this project together, and that we need is this boat. I need my film, and then he needs this boat, so it's normal to do that.
Yeah, you exchange. Yeah, Sergio, thank you so much for coming. The film is going to, I mean, it is going to, already doing a great tournée dans le festival, and I think it's going on, spreading. And for you, dear audience, just the information that it is also nominated for the Audience Award, because it's in the international competition. And so if you want to vote for it, please don't forget to do so. So thank you very much, and come back. And if you want more news, please subscribe our newsletter and catch on. And the festival will still be online until the 21st. So see you.
Bye.